So opponent gonna get one down immediately, play a chopper, passes back to me, and I'm gonna go for 2. So I'm going to pay 1, play a Nami, look at the top 5 cards of my deck. My hand has a reasonable amount of resources for what they might do. I have Nekos to rest some of that chopper. I have Jet Pistol, things like that. So I don't feel like I need the Robin, so I am just going to grab the Rush Luffy, do a little bit of rearranging, and I am going to bottom those cards. I am going to play the Chopper for 1, and I'm going to pass back to my opponent. They go up to 3 Don, and they are going to swing face for 5. I do decide to take this damage. Someone was telling me about possibly. We'll get back to that, but they're gonna pay 5 to play, or pay 3 to play Zoro. They're gonna swing directly, and I'm gonna counter out of it. Anyway, a friend of mine was talking about how they like to take the first 2 life with um, their law. So I'm kind of giving it a try. I'm gonna pay 2 for the Neko to rest the chopper. I'm kind of doing a really good job right here because now I can swing over the chopper. If they want to save it, they have to commit resources, and I'm going to go 7 into 5. Again, really making them commit resources to saving the Zoro if they can or if they want to. And after that, I'm going to pass to them. Currently doing a really good job controlling the Border Gun Zoro. I haven't taken as much early damage as they probably would like. And at this point, I'm just going to commit to controlling their board state, keeping my counters reasonable and keeping my blockers reasonable. They are going to attach 1 to Zoro, swing face for 6. I'm going to chopper block out of it. I'm going to get another Zoro plate on me, and they're going to attack for 7. I am going to take that damage. Now, the fact that they keep playing Zoros indicates to me that they don't really have any other strong plays. Typically, you want to save those cards for later, at least most of them. Like 1 Zoro early game I could see, but having played 2 Zoros in a row, there's no Namis. The first turn was Chopper. I don't feel like their hand is that strong, and I feel like they're going to run out of steam. But on my turn, I am going to Bonnie, add a killer blocker to hand. So again, now I'm convinced that at this point I have to just build up counters in hand for the Rush Luffy and build up blockers on board. I'm going to go 7 into Zoro again. The 2 Don committal is a lot, but I really just don't want them having any board presence. And for ending my turn, I'm just going to play a 2-cost chopper. Or not a 2-cost chopper, 2-cost blocker killer. Turn's going to get passed back to them. They are now up to 6, or they're up to 7. They should be at 7 because I'm at 6. So again, like I said, because their turns consisted of pretty much going Zoro Zoro, I'm not convinced they have anything really reasonable in hand. Maybe I'm getting a 5 cost, but they are going to go Zoro into Bonnie. At least I believe it's into Bonnie. I'm going to block it. And then they are going to pay 5 for the Rush Luffy, attach to Don, and swing face. I think here was kind of a weird play. Like, you swung with Bonnie. Why wouldn't you go Bonnie for Bonnie again? I'm going to take the life, but it seemed a little odd now that I think about it. It's back to me. I'm up to 8 Don. I only need 2 more characters to start using my ability, and I definitely need to handle this Luffy because he is the bane of this deck. I'm going to play the Otama to minus it to 2, so it's currently at 4. I'm going to pay 1, tap Bonnie, do a quick check of my hand just to see what I really want. And now that it's been 2 Zoros and 1 Luffy, I really am convinced that blockers are probably going to be my best friend. If not blockers, I want my 2k counters. So Bonnie is probably either going to be adding something like that. Because I have two of the Rush Luffy's in hand. So I have the aggro. I have 1 of the laws, so I have a little bit of defense. The only other card that I could see would be, Bonnie or Bedge. I do add the Bonnie, probably just for follow-up. And it has counter potential if I really, really need to use it. I'm going to pay 1 for Chopper, and my ability is now active. Before I do that, though, I do have to deal with this Luffy. So again, it had -2 from the Otama, so I'm going to go 4 into 4. Probably think about if they want to. I mean, they still have my leader coming in with 5, so I still have the ability to clear it. It saves them an extra life if they keep this alive, but they do decide to let it go. So now I have a little bit more free range with my Dawn. I'm going to... I think here is actually a misplay if I attack first. Okay, I do decide to Shambles first. The issue is if I get Jet Pistol or something like that, like my ability gets offline. I had an opponent who actually put me in a very tough spot because I did that earlier in like one of my locals. So Shamblesing here, I think first is correct. Then we can put 2 on Zoro, go 7 face, and then we can go 5 face with my character, and they take both of them. As much as I don't want to attack face and give them more cards, because the last couple turns have been dead for them, the life differential was 1 to 5, and I really do need to start closing this game out. Like, every turn that I don't close this game out is another turn that they're going to be just swing with a lot, playing a Zoro, maybe Jet Pistolsing something. If they get that unblockable Luffy, it's just hard, really, really hard for me to do anything. So again, I'm just trying to assemble counters, and I'm just trying to assemble blockers. And then I can keep swinging in with Zoro every turn or two. Anyway, opponent has quite a decision to make. The board is very much in my favor, and I think hand resource-wise too, I just have a lot of advantage right now. It seems like their mulligan wasn't that good for them. Like I said, we haven't seen a Nami, and all of their turns have been playing rushers. In this matchup, rushers are good, but they are going to Jet Pistol my Zoro. I think that also right there might not have been great. I would have Jet Pistoled the blocker. Just because if you did this play in reverse, where you Jet Pistol the blocker, play that to minus my Zoro, and then swing with Zoro, you've taken out 2 of my blockers. And, like, sure, I get the Zoro, but, like, I'm going to be swinging typically with things anyway. Like, you need to start minimizing my blockers. I just feel like that's the right play. Because now we're going to, rest the chopper with my Neko Mamushi. We're going to Nami swing into the chopper. And now I'm just piecing out all my Dawn. I do slide my Neko over all the way just because I want to make sure I don't accidentally attack with it. I'd hate to make this game stay like something weird. So I'm going to go 5 into leader first. Just keeping enough Dawn in case I get Jet Pistoled or something like that. I have my own Jet Pistol. Actually, here is probably a good time to swing face for 5. If they counter out of it, they don't. They take the damage. Yeah, their hand seems really weak at this point, and they're just trying to mitigate it. I go 5 face. They do counter out with Sunny-kun. I'm not going to be attacking face anymore, so now I'm going to Jet Pistol that Law. Make sure to just get everybody off board. I'm going to Shambles, return red, play a green ability, return the Neko Mamushi, play the Nami again, and Nami's going to look at my top 5, and I'm going to try grabbing a... Well, I have enough blockers on board. I have 2 Luffys in hand, so aggro I don't need. So yeah, I am going to grab the 2k counter, just to ensure if something goes crazy wrong and they happen to get like a rush Luffy, I'll have the counters to probably just sustain myself out of that. Because I'm at 1 life, taking any more damage here is just basically a death sentence. If they can get me down to 0 life just by attacking with anything, a rush Luffy can go 11 face, and that's a lot to counter out of. So they're going to go 6 face. I'm going to counter. Oh, no, nope. Not going to block. I am going to block. Okay. So I'm going to block with the chopper. I agree with that. I want to save my counters for if Rush Luffy comes down. But I don't get Rush Luffy. I get Shanks. So Shanks is going to get played. Swing face for 11. This is basically a Luffy, but I can block it. So I am going to block it. And turn's going to get passed back to me. At 10 Dawn, the Shanks is scary, but Law does take care of that. I just need to be a little bit worried about possibly Jet Pistols. So I need to get my opponent to a point where I can kill them and also make sure I have the defense back. So I'm going to attack 5 face. They counter out of it. Kind of spooky. Piecing out my Dawn. I have 8 left. I'm going to Bonnie for 2. I grab a killer. Good card for this deck because not only does it get you a block, but it also allows you to draw more cards, and more cards means typically more counters. We're going to go 5 with the Nami. Again, I'm just trying to chip at them. Either they're going to ditch cards to sustain a life, or they're going to take damage for the least amount. They're going to Otama out of that. So they only have 2 cards left, and like I said, I really don't want to give them resources, but I've only been able to deal 1 damage this turn, and yeah, I'm thinking about whether or not I want to try ending the game here. But it's really risky to try swinging with the blocker. I have 1 blocker through the Law. I have the killer blocker. I think I'm just debating about which I want to shambles. I go 5 face, and like I've been saying, this right here is a misplay. If I get jet pistoled, I'm pretty sure I just lose. But turn's gonna get passed, or not turn's gonna get passed, sorry. I'm gonna tap 2, shambles, return the 2k counter to play the blocker, and I'm gonna attach 1 under it just so I can maybe get an extra draw. And I'm gonna pass it back to my opponent. So we're both at 1 life. This is kind of the cool thing about Law, is that even there's a huge life deficit against like these rush decks, typically you're able to sustain out just long enough for you to like chip away at enough of their life where then you put them at this turn. This is kind of like that deciding turn. Like, do you have exactly what you need to kill my board? Now here, I'm unfamiliar with what Shanks does. I read it. It just restricts me from blocking with 2 power or less. All right. They only have 3 or 4 cards in hand. Looks like they had a quick glimpse of a Robin, but they have 3 cards in hand. 1 is a Robin, which is not going to really do anything this turn. They have to be able to close the game here, otherwise it's over. You'll notice that they spaced their 4 Dawn apart. I was a little worried at that point because I'm thinking, okay, well, that's a jet pistol. So jet pistol KOs that, and then they're able to swing with the guy, but I still have the blocker, and I still have counters. So they kind of need like jet pistol, and then just the ability to just play 2 rushers. But then they put it all onto Zoro, and they swing face for 9. This is a no-brain block for me. I'm going to block, draw a card. That's 4 Dawn. Now they can't play the Luffy with Rush and get past a blocker because they only have 6 Dawn left. So I just need to not die, and we're good. Even if they play 2 Zoros, I have counters and blockers. I take this life. It's another resource for me. And I'm pretty confident I'm going to be able to kill them next turn. So they're at 6 Dawn. They're going to pay 2 for a Sanji. So like I said, even if they're able to play a rush or 2, they're going to go face for, I believe, 8 because of the Zoro leader. I am going to block, and then I'm going to counter for 2 out of this. And then they're going to tap 1 for their chopper. Now, this would be an issue. However, I believe I have a Nekomamushi in hand from an early... Yeah, so I have a Nekomamushi in hand. I'm going to rest the chopper for 2. Nekomamushi in this deck is crazy because it removes blockers and it fills my board up. And now here, it's just piecing out the math to, be able to deal damage. I'm going to shambles for the Rush Luffy. I'm going to attach 1 under each just to make sure that I don't get jet pistoled. That card literally changes the game so hard. We're going to go 7 face, 5 face. They're going to counter out of it, and then we're going to put everything on Luffy for game. That's GG. Anyway, guys, thanks for stopping by. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Comment down in the comment section any huge misplays you saw on my part or things you thought I could have done better. And we appreciate you guys stopping by. And you guys take care. See you in the next video. Peace.